It's recording.
Hello and welcome. Today I'll be presenting something quite special. So here we have a very rare sight, I would believe, a finished game. And it's a board game no less. Well, that's why it's finished. But here we have the game that I made. It's called Tough Call, as you can see. Oh, everyone's really excited about it. And here we have a full game set out. So each player has their 3 cards, a couple of tokens, and some dice. There are the rules, there are the pieces, there's the board, there's everything you need. But how did we get here? Now, right at the start of this, what's it called? It's called a course. It's called a game design course. And what I wanted to do was to be a game designer. So I thought it'd be a good idea to design a game. And I don't know how to program. We saw that from last year's FMP. That was a terrible idea. It was not a waste of time, but it didn't go anywhere. So what can't you program? Cardboard. So you don't need to know C for that. So that's what I did. I decided to make a game. And that's why I went for the game design discipline. And that's why it's a board game. And that's why it's finished as well. Let's see what else. Now, the concept was, the idea I wanted was, and initially it was based off Yomi Hustle, which is a turn-based fighting game. And then I thought, what if you had a board game that was a fighting game? And that, I thought, then to rock, paper, scissors, because in, I can have that, alright. In fighting games, there's normally an RPS system. I punch you, but you block it. Oh, I grab you, doesn't matter if you block it. But if I try to grab you and I hit you, then I win. That makes sense. And so that would be a thing here, like a duel of wits, where 2 people need to stare each other down, and by outwitting the opponent, that's how you win, rather than being explicitly stronger. And so, but I implemented that via having risky decision making. So everything has a strength and a weakness, and you need to bet resources. So whereas rock, paper, scissors, you have a 33% chance of a draw, this draws would be settled by whoever bets more on it, whoever believes in themselves more. Then, of course, it was around the time this was being made, I got into a game called Adeptus Titanicus, which is about big fucking robots smashing the shit out of each other, and that's great fun. And that's what I've got here. These guys are from that game, of course, with the stand-ins. And then that also led to the Japanese robot wrestling thing, which is, it's like BattleBots, but from Japan. They're a bit more advanced, I suppose. And of course poker, which is betting, which is where the whole, well, the phrase bet, you wouldn't bet your life on it, that kind of thing. But what if you're literally betting your life, for example, which would be in a fight? The initial ideas was a bit based off of tic-tac-toe with the whole 3x3 board thing. It was a bit weird. So then I developed it more into the hexagonal idea. And, well, in fact, this is the 3-player mode. It's actually also a 2-player game with the 7. So these ones, a couple will be taken away. Now, initially there could have been more, because I realised, oh, what if there are people on the corners? But that would mean that I'd need to have more than 12, because the game revolves around the d12 dice. This shows where you're moving, where you're hitting someone. And if there's more than 12 spaces, my elegant solution doesn't work. What else? Here are the initial prototypes. There's a 2- and 3-player version. I initially was just using stuff I found around the house. Paper, done very irregularly. Poker chips, which we can get to later. And pennies, for some reason. Because they were around, I suppose. Of course, well, the mind maps, they weren't actually done for, they didn't actually help. It was because it was part of the work. But, you know, get some brownie points with the examiners for this. So, there you go. Target audience. Now, I was looking to target the audiences for board games, and a lot of them are between 25 and 54 range. So I wanted to have something that would be appealing to them, such as middle-aged men and their Warhammer. But I also, because at the age of 10 and above, children are past the age of reason, and they have a bit more brain power. So it's still suitable for them to be able to go up against their dad or their brother or whatever at this game. So the game needs to be child-friendly. So of course, what I said previously about big robots and such, not as explicit, but it's still going to be big robots, so it's going to be appealing to male audiences as well, because board game players are predominantly male as well. So it'd be very family appropriate. I don't know. Could someone get that, please? Right, research. A big thing for this was a book called The Art of Game Design. On a whim, I was in the library, I saw a book on it, and I was like, gosh, I'm going to be reading that. A great excuse for not doing actual work and just saying in your production log that you've just read of it. But the main thing was this, the rule of the loop, where you go, risk analysis, concept, you state the problem, you brainstorm solutions, choose a solution, you can read it yourself, I suppose. But this system was what I used throughout all of pre-production. For every prototype of the game, back when it was paper to now when it was cardboard, this was always used and it was very helpful for me. And this is the flowchart I was using to help describe my game, the phases of play, if you will. And it kept on changing. The main changes were the deciding turn thing got split into two things due to problems found with people moving onto the same square at the same time. But then, thanks to solutions found via prototypes, sorted out and consolidated it into the one thing. And then production, which we'll see, was, as soon as pre-production was done, which was a matter of getting the rules sorted, production was make it look nice. And with that, we have the rules, which are here, so someone could actually play the game without me being there to tell them what to do. This is everything that you see here for everyone in the back. So you've got all your chips, your board, your guys, your dice, your cards, and then you've got the box, which is this. It would obviously look a bit better when done professionally, but I'm not being paid. Could you go back one, please? Okay, forward again, sorry. Forward, please. Yeah, sorry. Here is me, Ram and Marcel. We were playing a game. I'm very excited, apparently. And these are actually videos that I uploaded, so if you look at the work that I've uploaded, there are actual videos, but I don't think I'm looking at that at the moment. But it's just we played the game for the sake of production, and that was to just tick off a box, I think. And planning. Initially, there was a big Gantt chart. That, as I expected, I was lazy, and I did this, then about this time I did a lot of nothing, and so everything just got smashed together near the end. In fact, here's what does it say? Yeah, I needed to finish my production portfolio on the 1st, I think. What's that? Sorry, the 14th. Basically, near the end, things had to get smashed together, but I expected it, if anything. Same as last year. Anyway, do anyone have any questions?
Have you thought of making the game online, like an online game where you play on a mobile phone or like on the PC?
Honestly, no, because if anything, I'd want to get the rules sorted out more, but the whole point of it was I don't know how to program, so no. But if there was someone who wanted to do it on there, I could license it to them. Yes?
What was wrong with the triangular board pieces? Because you said that they didn't really work.
Oh, the chips, you mean?
No, the little board pieces of the board that were triangular, you said you didn't end up using them because they didn't work very well. What was the problem with them?
Was it the poker chips and then we went to these? Or?
Oh, was it the poker chips?
I think it was.
Oh, my bad, sorry.
Well, basically, we implemented a system where everyone gets 5 at the start, and then there's a formula of the round number minus 1 is the amount you get at the end of the turn. So it's not a case of someone predicts you on the first turn and then you have 0 for the rest of the game. It's so you sort of gain some gradually. So at the end of turn 2 you get 1 and so on. But that means everyone, if you have a 3-player game, there's going to be 60 tokens in play by the end of the game. So you need 60 of these, and poker chips are like that big. So I could not have 60 of them in this box and have it be economical size-wise. So I needed to make something smaller. Anyone else?
How much does the game cost?
Okay. It depends how you want to see this. However much a deck of cards is, however much 6 D12s are, however much a cardboard box is, and however much these are, which I think was like £20. Plus paint, or whatever. So, I don't know. Maybe like £40 in materials, I suppose?
If you're betting it wouldn't it be 18 plus?
No. Parental supervision. You can drink under parental supervision, so I'm going to say you can gamble.
And anyway, it's not real object. Yeah.
Are you planning on adding like a story or like something to it where like you can go through scenarios?
As a campaign?
Well, the current scenario is you have your robot, and the idea is you're programming out a move for it to do. It's like, oh, I think his guy's going to do this, so I'm going to tell him to move forward and punch him, right? So it's sort of just like battle bots, if you will.
Yeah, alright.
But as for more story, I don't know. Unlikely. Anyone else? Lovely.
Do you just press the same button?
Yep.
Okay.
How long was that? It was...
Your headache's gone from listening.